All right, guys, Happy New Year! Welcome to our team meeting for January 1st, 2018. And thank you guys for working with me. Obviously, last night I figured you guys probably had better things to do than get on a call. Although I didn't have a very exciting class night. So tonight I'm just going to bring up a PowerPoint. Some of the stuff's going to apply to different people at different stages. I feel like there's some overall goal setting. There's some like types of goals and things like that. And then I go into like breaking down specific goals and how to kind of reverse engineer those. But I just think we have the vision board party on Sunday, and so I really wanted you guys to use this call as a way to start thinking of shooting big for this year, just putting different things on your vision board, giving you guys ideas for that. And then in the vision board event in the team page, I will be posting more like specific things later in the week just to give you guys more ideas. But let me go ahead and share my screen. Slideshow. Okay, so goal setting. I cannot believe it's 2019. Crazy. So when you guys are doing your vision board, when you're setting your goals for the year, when you're setting them for any amount of time, I really want you guys to stop and think, if you knew you couldn't fail, what would you attempt? Like I saw somebody, she's actually an RNF girl, post this on her Instagram the other day. And I just feel like it's so good because we get in our way so often where we start assuming failure. We start setting ourselves up for, but what if this happens? And what if that happens? And well, I can't say that goal out loud because it's too scary. Like it's got too much that could happen. What if you knew you couldn't fail? Like if any goal was possible, if you could achieve anything, if in 2020, when we are on this call, what would you want to have accomplished this year if you knew that nothing could stop you, that there was not going to be any obstacles, that there wasn't going to be anything to get in your way? Because that's how you guys need to be setting goals. Setting safe goals isn't going to get you what you want out of life. It's not going to get you what you want out of this business. It's not going to get you what you want out of your personal life. Setting safe goals and saying like, I want to make at least $100 this year, or I want to sign up at least one person this year, like that's awesome. And it's a great step in your way to goals. But if you're not shooting for bigger and better things, you're never going to push yourself and see what you can really accomplish. So I want you guys to think about that. So just some overall goal setting tips. Like I said, I want you to dream big. I honestly do not think that there is any dream, blah, 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 blah. Let me start over. I don't think that there is any goal that is too big, but I absolutely think there are goals that are too small. If you say to me, Kristen, I want to be a part of the Millions Club January 2020, I will say, awesome, let's get to work. Like, because even if you don't hit $1 million, even if, you don't even hit half of that, like if that gets you pushing and gets you working, then you've won either way. But if you're setting your goals so small and like you can't see that bigger vision, you can't see that bigger picture, you're limiting yourself so much. I was talking to somebody not too long ago, and I said the reason why I knew she was going to be successful is because her vision was so far ahead. She could say, like, I know the work I'm putting in now is going to pay off then. I know that what I'm doing now is going to pay off then. And you have to be able to have that big vision. But if you're setting goals and you're limiting yourself now, that vision isn't there, and you're never going to see what you can accomplish. When you're setting your goals, be specific as possible. Saying I want to be successful is not a goal, because successful looks different every day for me. Like some days successful is getting my workout in and getting my PD in. Like some days successful is setting up my challenge group and getting 5 people signed up. Like successful looks different every day. Be as specific as you can with any of your goals, because the more specific you can, and Whitney is like on my screen, and I just know that I talked with her about this. I preach to her, like, did you look into how much that cost? Write down a number. Like if she tells me a goal for something, I'm like, write down a number. I want you to be as specific as possible. I'm not saying like, I want to put windows into my house. That's awesome. how many windows do you need to put in your house? How much do they cost per window? Like, get as specific as possible, because if you're not, then once again, you don't have anything to motivate you and push you. Seeing a number, seeing a specific goal that you need to hit is going to push you so much harder. Share your goals. You don't have to share them with me. You don't have to share them on social media, but sharing them with somebody, whether it's your husband or whether it is your coach or whether it's a success partner or whether anybody, once you share them with somebody, it makes them real. The year before last, I wanted elite, and it scared me so much to fail that I didn't want to tell the team. I didn't want to tell you guys that I wanted to hit elite as a team that year, because I was so scared of what would happen if we didn't hit it. And because of that, I never told you. I never told you guys that's something I was wanting to work towards. And last year I did, and it made everyone push harder, and it held me accountable, because I was like, oh crap, we have to hit this, because I told them this is what we were working towards. Sharing them with somebody, and I think somebody that understands, because me sharing that I want us to hit a certain Beachbody goal with Travis, that's awesome, but he doesn't always necessarily get it or get the power behind it, or he was congratulating me when we hit a lead and 5-star, but he doesn't necessarily get everything that went into that. So sharing it with someone who really understands. And remember, nothing is off limits. When you're setting goals, I was talking with Kelsey yesterday, and she was like, I really need to get better just about tracking and budgeting. Is that okay to set a goal for? Heck yes, that is an amazing goal to set for yourself. When you're setting goals, especially for your vision board, they don't have to be Beachbody related. They don't have to be anything. If it's important to you, if it's going to make you a better version of you, then set it. Nothing is off limits. Figure out, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later, figure out what it takes to get there. Setting lofty goals is awesome, but if you have no idea what it takes to actually, if it is accomplishable, that goal is just going to sit on your vision board and not mean anything. Last year, I put a Lexus that I want on my vision board, and we did not get it this year, but my car is almost paid off. We're going to pay off my car first, but I put that Lexus on there and I built it. I went to Lexus's website and built it frame by frame, so I knew exactly how much it was. I didn't just put some $200,000 car on there that wasn't realistic for me. I put a car that I wanted and that I knew exactly what went into it, so that it made me want to push for it. And then the most important thing, once you make these vision boards, once you write these goals, you have to believe they can happen. If you guys watched that video in the vision board party today, that's what she was talking about, is you can't just write them down and then stuff that thing in your closet and leave and just think that they're going to manifest themselves. You have to believe them, and you have to get to work to make them happen. As much as I want that Lexus and I can look at it every day and I can believe I'm going to get it, if I don't actually do the work to get it, it's not going to happen. You have to go out and make it happen. So here are some examples of goals that you guys can be thinking about, or just might kind of trigger some thoughts. And there are clearly other ones. I just wanted to throw some out there that I could think of. Income-wise, setting income goals. And I put this first for a reason. So many people think it's icky to talk about how much money you make with Beachbody or how much money you make, period. We work, we do a service. And most of the time, I don't know that my daily income or weekly income even matches sometimes the amount of hours I put in. Sometimes it does, but you guys deserve to get paid for the work you put in, and it is okay to utilize the income as something to motivate you, because the truth is, some of us would be doing this if we didn't get paid, right? Some of us wouldn't be as invested in it if we weren't. Some of us, this is our job. Some of us, this is our chance to pay off debt, our chance to take our family on vacation, our chance to pay off our cars or buy a new car. This is our chance to build a savings. That's okay. And if that is a huge part of your why, you need to write down a specific number that you want to be pushing for, so that that why becomes a reality. Rank. Once again, it's okay to be shooting for rank. I don't think rank is everything, be completely honest with you, but rank a lot of times can help you get to your goals, and it just kind of shows. I think what I love about rank is sometimes it just is a great way to finally show the amount of work you've put in. So shooting for a certain rank is not a bad thing. Shooting for a status like being an elite coach or being a premier coach, those are great goals. Having a certain amount of lives you want to change. Look at how many lives you changed this year. Say if you changed 10 a month at least, that's 120 for the year. Say you want to change at least 200 in 2019. Like I have a number from last year. I've got to redo my board on Saturday, or Sunday. But, you know, I think that's a great goal to keep. And it's, once again, that's a really good goal that you can kind of start back. We'll do this like reverse engineering later. But you can say like, oh, I want to shoot for 200 by the end of the year. That's this many each month. And, you know, I need to be signing up this amount of people each week. Also, growing your team by a certain number by the end of the year, having like your overall organization have a certain number. Growing local is something that I've wanted to do. And it's something that has always been on my heart when I used to be so jealous of watching other coaches have like get-togethers and stuff with local coaches. And I'm like, I want to go to a coffee shop and work. Like, I wish there was a coach that lived up the street from me that we could just go meet. Like, that's something that I have really wanted to do. Hosting a retreat. Last year on my vision board, I had hosted a retreat the year before, but I wanted to be able to afford to do it somewhere not at my house, like for our second year. And so that was on mine, being a part of the Millionaire Club. And then personal goals, relationship. Do you want to strengthen your marriage? Do you want to, you know, build better relationship with your parents or your kids or anything like that? Budgeting. Budgeting was a huge one on mine last year, and not even necessarily budgeting, just getting more organized so that I could see where we were spending money and see where we could get better. Unplugging was on my vision board last year. I found that I was getting really, really anxious, feeling like I needed to answer my phone all the time, and I would be trying to go to bed and I would hear it like vibrating, and I would get so anxious at night thinking like, oh my gosh, is one of my coaches messaging me? And I felt like I had to respond, and I had to end up putting like a do not disturb on my phone after 9 o'clock so that if people do message me, I don't hear it. And guess what? I did it for a year and the world did not end. I actually had a much better year in my business this year than I did the year before. Unplugging is a great one. If you're a mom who struggles with having, you know, feeling like you're on your phone with your kids, setting a goal around like, okay, I've got business hours and I've got mom hours, like, and I'm going to devote. Christy is always one of my go-tos for this. She, especially when she was pregnant, she really wanted to give Ren that like one-on-one time. And she was like, when I'm with him during this time, like my phone is nowhere near me. It's mom and Ren time. And like, this is my business time. And it's when he's at daycare, or, you know, if I can get my mom to come over and watch him. Trying new things was something on mine last year, like getting out of the house at least once a week, or doing things, because when I started working from home, I found that I stayed home more and like would not want to go out places like I used to. So trying new things, getting out of the house. Your goals can be whatever you want. These are just examples, things that I've done in the past that I just kind of wanted to utilize to help you guys think. Okay, so once you've set your goals, break that ish down. And the reason I say this, and I'm going to talk about this more later, is once again, vision board goals are awesome. My vision is where are my like big, these are the end of the year, like this is what I want to happen. Those are really, really, really easy to put there and then not have any urgency to get them done. I do not love the book 12-Week Year, but I love the concept of the 12-week year. I think the book could have probably just been like a piece of paper or something to explain it, because the book just really says like the same thing over and over again. But breaking your year down into like 12 weeks at a time, into quarters, and saying, you know, by this date, I want to, if my goal is to be a 5-star elite coach by the end of the year, and I'm a diamond now, by the first quarter, I want to be a 2-star. And by summit, I want to be 4-star. And then by the end of the year, I want to be a 5-star. Like something like that, working in shorter times, because you can eat those. Like those create urgency in you, and they're more obtainable versus like, oh, I've got the whole year to accomplish that. Because how many of us wait until the last week of the month, or when, you know, a qualification date is the 31st, and we wait till the 29th to get to freaking work and like bear down? if we can create that urgency with us throughout the year in different like smaller increments. And I love the idea of even doing like monthly goals. Like if I want to be 5-star by the end of the year, by the end of January, I need to have signed up at least 4 coaches and be more than halfway to 1-star, or, you know, something like that, like breaking it down into more things, because it makes it more manageable and it makes you work harder towards those smaller goals, which is going to get you to your bigger goal. So monthly, by summit, quarterly, however you want to do it. Okay, so let's get into reverse engineering a little bit. First thing you need to know when you're setting a goal, and some of these are going to be like not make sense for your specific goals, and some of them will. Do your research. Like, what do you need to do to accomplish your goal? What do you need to know to make it happen? What does it take? What skills do you need? How much time investment do you need? What experts can you talk to for insight? Like, who has accomplished this goal before? And these, once again, do not need to be Beachbody goals. For me, for instance, my goal of like getting out of the house once a week last year, I had said like I wanted to try like a new class, like a workout class or something. So how much time investment did I need? Well, I needed at least 30 minutes to drive, 30 to 45 minutes to drive into Charlottesville there, and then 30, 45 minutes back. I needed to pay for the classes. And if I was doing that weekly, like I had to see like, okay, did it make sense for my business? Did it make sense for the rest of my life to make this a goal? So breaking it all down, once you've done that research, brainstorm and brain dump what action steps, like take action to get you to that goal. So if it's paying off debt, what action steps do I need to do? Do I need to make it a goal, like make it a point to take action and only eat out once a month, or set my eating out budget at $50 a month for our family versus what we're doing now? Like, what action steps do you need to take? Make a list of every possible little thing you must do to achieve that goal. And then even if you can, keep breaking those down into smaller tasks. So if it is that I want to save money, I want to pay off my debt, how can I do that? One action step I can take is eating out less a month, like less every month. Okay, so what do I need to do to make that happen? I need to set a like budget for myself. $50 max. One time a month we go out. We don't spend more than $50 on dinner. Okay, perfect. What do I need to do to make that happen? I need to make sure that when I grocery shop on Fridays, I buy food for the weekends too. And so I'm not like Saturday night wondering what we're going to eat for dinner and end up going and ordering pizza because we don't have anything. Like, break it down into smaller steps. And then I think this is the most important part. Do your goals and all of the steps that are necessary to reach your goals make sense? Do they align with your priorities in life? If you tell me that you want to be a part of the Million Club and you're going to work, in order to make that happen, you need to work 70 hours a week and all of this stuff. And then when you start breaking all this down, you realize that that doesn't make sense for you and your family, and you wouldn't ever see your kids, or you wouldn't ever see your husband. If that doesn't match like with your life and everything going on, then take a couple steps back, change that goal. For me, going out once a week to do something it just wasn't going to happen. I changed it to once a month. That was much more doable for me. It aligned with my goals because I also wanted to budget and save money, and spending $20 to $50 on like a workout class once a week didn't make sense for all of my other goals. It didn't make sense with my priorities. Think about what you have to compromise to achieve your goal, because here's the thing. Any goal worth achieving is going to take some sort of something, right? And whether it's compromising your time to do it, or whether it's compromising money, or whether it's compromising something like your ethics, or, you know, something like that, like think about what you're having to put into it to get out, and make sure that it doesn't like devalue you and everything else that's important to you. Okay. So I'm going to reverse engineer some goals for you just so you can kind of see how I would do it. Personal goals. Let's start there first. So say you have a year-end weight loss, and break that down like I said before. So break it down into 6 months. Okay, at 6 months, if I want to lose 100 pounds by the end of the year, I need to have lost 50 pounds by 6 months. So what does that look at like at 3 months? That means I need to lose 25 pounds at 3 months, which means I need to lose about 8 pounds a month to get to my goal. Okay, what do I need to do to get there? Well, I need to work out and I need to eat right. Like, That's what I need to do. What does it cost? Time, money, energy, like think about all these things. Is it worth it? Checking your priorities, doing that for each of your goals, getting out each week, paying off your credit card debt, breaking all of those things down and figuring out what you need to do to accomplish them. Income. So this one I'm going to actually break down for you guys. So how much do I want to make? If you have income goals, how much do you want to make at the end of the year? How much does that mean you need to be making monthly? And how much does that mean you need to be making weekly? And maybe you don't have a year-end goal. Maybe you say, like, for me to quit my job, I said I need to be making at least $1,000 a week to be able to quit my job. That was my goal. Before I would even put in my 2 weeks notice, I needed to be making $1,000 a week. That was my goal. I didn't really have a year-end goal. So I guess that was $52,000 a year if you look at it. But breaking it down. So what are your sources of income? Are you a coach right now and not an emerald or diamond or anything and you're just commission only? Are you an emerald or above and you have commission and team cycle bonus? If you do have team cycle bonus, how much is it? Is it 14, 16, or 18 based on your rank? And then do you have other things contributing like quarterly bonuses and things like that? So quarterly bonuses are for like 2-star, 5-star, 10-star, and 15-star. You get quarterly bonuses. So from there, if you are going to set income goals, I would only look at team cycle bonus because that's guaranteed income. That is something that is guaranteed. If you told me you wanted to make $800 a week and you were only going to do it based off commission, I would tell you that, like, get ready because that you're going to be working your absolute booty off and that's too hard to maintain, right? But if you can build up your team cycle bonus, once you hit that, I mean, you may drop from it, but that is like your long-term substantial income that's just going to keep growing. And once you've hit kind of a benchmark, you might go a little below or a little above, but like you're not going to drop from $800 to $100 as long as you're keeping your rank and you're continuing to build. So we're going to just do this. And I'm sorry that that's hard to see, but I'm going to do this quickly. If you need me to do this with you or you need to do this, like ask your coach. If I'm not your coach, they can ask me and I will be more than happy to get on a call and do this with you. So say your goal is $800 a week that you need to be making. Divide that goal by your team cycle bonus. So if you're an Emerald coach, your team cycle bonus is 14. If you are a Ruby coach, your team cycle bonus is $16 a cycle. If you are a Diamond coach, your team cycle bonus is 18. And if you're above Diamond, it's 18. So when you divide that, so 800 divided by, we're going to do it for Diamond, is 18, comes out to 44. That's how many times you need to cycle in team cycle bonus per week, 44. So now that you know that, what do I need the volume to be on both of my legs? So I'm going to multiply 44 by 200 to get my strong leg volume, which would come out to 8,800, and then by 100 to come out with my weak leg, which is the 4,400. Just as a refresher, team, if you are lost right now, that's cool. Like, do not let this overwhelm you. This is just like the nitty gritty of how our income works. Like, otherwise, it took me a long time to even do this. Like, I used to just check my back office and be like, oh, that's cool. Like, you know, that's my income. If this overwhelms you or if it's over your head right now, do not freak out or like, don't stress. But for those of you who are wanting it. And now you're going to divide your weak leg volume by 90. So this 4,400, we're dividing by 90. And so what this is doing, this is assuming that your coaches are bringing in at least 90 PV. Most of them, if they're working, they're bringing in more. But this is like bare minimum, because when you're setting bare minimum, anything you make on top of that is gravy, right? Like, so if you have working coaches that are signing up challengers and stuff, they're going to be making more than 90. But if they're a coach here, even for the discount, you would assume that they're going to be at least getting 90 PV a month. So this number right here, 48, tells you how many coaches you need in a month to be getting home direct how many coaches you need to be getting home direct each week to get that cycle bonus. These are not your PS coaches. These are all of your coaches in your organization. So for instance, Whitney is on my strong leg. I keep calling Whitney because she's the one face up on my screen. Like, she contributes to that. She's not my coach. So like, and her coaches contribute to my like up here volume. So it's not just like, oh my gosh, I have to have 48 coaches under me. It's I have to have 48 coaches in my organization. And some of you guys, luckily, have other coaches, like my coaches that I sign up go under you. And so like those are part of your organization too. But anyways, so then you multiply that number by 4. So 48 times 4 to find out the total coaches needed for a month to hit a goal. So this coach needed 195 coaches on the right side of the organization, because that was her weak leg, to get to this $800 goal. So then we looked at where she's at. Okay, right now she has 25 personally sponsored coaches. Her coaches have this many, this many, this many. That 195 can look really overwhelming, but when you think like, okay, well, if I'm signing 4 coaches a month and Whitney's under me and she's signing 4 coaches a month and Katie's under her and she's signing 4 coaches a month, like that 195 gets broken down pretty quick, because it's not just you having to bring in these coaches, it's your entire weak leg organization. But that's how you would reverse engineer to figure out how to meet income goals. And if that is super overwhelming, like I said, we can get on a call and go over it more. Okay, say you want to be a diamond coach. Let's reverse engineer that. What do you need to accomplish your goal? You need to be active. You need to have at least 8 active coaches under you, and 2 of which are emeralds. Okay, where am I currently at with that? If I am a brand new coach that just signed up and I'm an active coach, I can check off active, right? If I have been coaching and I've got 6 coaches under me, maybe 1 emerald, that's where I'm at. So just figure out where you're at with that guideline. How do I get those 8 or how many ever coaches? Let's reverse engineer that. You need to sign up 8 people, right? So a good goal underneath that, step underneath that, is hitting Success Club. So you know you're helping at least 3 to 5 people a month get results, because those are going to be your best coaches. And maybe you present coaching to them when they sign up. Maybe you wait until they've gotten results. But hitting Success Club is the first step. How do you help them become emeralds? Plugging them into team pages, providing them with trainings from the start, being an example for them to follow by hitting emerald in your business, and continuing to build, because the more coaches you bring in, the more chances you have that you're going to find those working coaches that are going to hit emerald. And I mean, these can be broken down even smaller. I'm just kind of going over. But this was a diamond leader checklist that I made for some of our girls when we were doing a push at the end of the year. And this is just like, when I tell you guys to check your back office all the time, this is literally a checklist that you can use if you're trying to hit diamond, to make sure your diamond is there, or make sure that you're not dropping your diamond. And so you could also utilize this to see literally everything you need to do to reverse engineer your goal of diamond. Okay, so let's look at like leadership ladder, premier, elite, those things. You want to know what's awesome? They lay out for you breaking these goals down. So this is the new road to elite this year. So your first stop in the road is being a team builder. So when you are a team builder, to qualify for that, you are a diamond coach with 25 leadership points, 1 new emerald this year, and at least 100 cumulative volume on that weak leg that we talked about. That's not in a week, that's in a 5-week period. So if you have 300 on your weak leg right now, you're way more than ahead of that. Your next step would become a team leader. Here, you are at least a 1-star or above. In 2019, you have at least 50 leadership points. You get 2 new emeralds or 1 diamond underneath you, and 2,500 or more volume on your weak leg, or total volume. So not even on your weak leg. Ignore the weak leg part. Just total volume. Sorry, I'm still learning this. Premier leader, 2-star diamond, 75 leadership points, 1 new diamond, and 5,000 TV. And then to be an elite coach, 5-star diamond, 105 leadership points, which are elite has different qualifications for the leadership points. Premier, leader, and team builder, your leadership points can come from anywhere. For elite, they have to, like, you can max out in certain areas, but don't let that stress you out either. 2 new diamonds, and then 5,000 or more volume. What's awesome about this is Beachbody gives you the way to break it down. Like, I have this document. It is in the Beachbody Champions page. Anybody can get it, but I can give it to you guys. This is your road to elite, and you can literally fill in, okay, my goal to be, I want to be elite by 12/31/19. So I want to hit Premier by October 15th. I want to be a team leader by July 10th, and I want to be a team builder by the end of January. Like, you can set those goals, and then you can literally check them off, and you can write like anything else here. So say your volume's higher than that. Say you signed up more emeralds. They reverse engineer it for you. All you have to do is fill in the dates and like knock off the checks. And I love this because elite qualification used to be really confusing. Premier used to be really confusing. They are laying it all out for you, so you know exactly what you need to do. And if you're looking at this, I don't care if you are a brand new coach or if you've been a coach for 5 years, every person on here can be elite. Every person on here can be premier. Surely every person can be a team builder and a team leader. Like, these goals are so doable for everybody, but it comes with that belief, and it comes with that work, and it comes with that like setting those high expectations. Everybody, if you are working the business, elite should be a goal of yours, I feel like, because even if you don't hit elite, maybe you land at premier, and premier is still a freaking badass thing to accomplish. And versus you shooting for team builder by the end of the year, and if you don't hit that, where are you? Like, what have you done in an entire year if you are building the business? If you are not wanting to build a business and none of this like attracts you or anything like that, that's totally cool too. Don't ever think that I'm telling you you have to be shooting for elite. But if you are working the business and building, there is no reason why any of these things aren't accomplishable. But you have to like believe it, and you have to get to work for it. But I think seeing it like this makes it so, like, it works with my brain. Like, my list brain that like loves being able to check things off, love this. Okay, and I'm just gonna share real quick. Share desktop. So this is the document I was talking about in the Beachbody Champions page, and that's the top of it. And you can also keep track of all of your points. Once you're a diamond coach, you get an elite qualification, like a points. It updates the first Friday of every new month. And so you can keep track of these things and see where you need to build. And tracking is the best way to get to your goals because you can literally see it. Okay. Let me hear questions. Let me know where you're at. I feel like I like can't talk anymore. Like I lost my voice.
I have a question.
Yes.
So I was doing the math from last year to this year, and like for my how much I made, and I doubled what I made last year. Is it possible to like make my goals based on like 10xing that? Like, is that crazy to want to 10x my income from the year?
No, and reminds me to, let me show you something real quick. If you guys can bear with me for 1 second, I will give you all crazy inspiration.
Okay.
So in the 5-star and above Facebook group, they did a post where they asked coaches to share their income progression throughout the last couple of years. And I'm telling you, if you want to see your income, boom, 2 stars where you have to be shooting to get that second business center open. And even like I've been 2-star and my income doubled last year. Like the potential for it to continue to double and continue. I mean, but it's work. Like it doesn't just happen. And I always get so worried about saying like, oh yeah, just like, you just need to do this, because the truth is like I work my ass off to make that happen. But I always want you guys to see that the potential is there. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I'm going to share this. So these are, I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see. I'm going to share all of these with you so that you're just freaking inspired. So Chelsea shared these in the Business Builders page. Shoot. All right, hold on. Dang. Sorry. It's freaking out because I zoomed in like 1,000 times. Dang it. Where did they go? Sorry. This is when Chelsea clinched elite yesterday, so. Oh, where is it? Okay, here it is. So these are just some that she shared, but I think just seeing this income growth is crazy. So this was a person in her yearly growth. 2015, she made $1,459. In 2018, she made $62,000. And you can see that it's about doubled every year. And some of them will say like what happened, or like maybe that they were more of a discount coach that first year and stuff like that. This is Haley's, and she went from 11,000 to 34 to 30 to 75. And this is just a month. Kate Schultz signed up in 2018. Her first month as a coach, she made $1,827. In November, she made $11,000. She just signed up in 2018. So when I tell you that any coach, whether you signed up yesterday or whether you've been here for 5 years, can accomplish your income goals, like you can accomplish your income goals. This is Sarah. She's super duper sweet. In October 2016, she made $2,000. In 2017, she made almost 4,000. And then in October 2018, she made 9,000. So you can just see that steady growth. This is Rachel Johnston's. It's really hard to see. It's really hard to see. Emily Favre, which you guys, if you know anything about her, she went from Emerald to Superstar Diamond in no time, like in less than a year. She went from the previous summit to this past summit, Emerald coach to 15-star Superstar Diamond. And she actively says that she didn't work the business. Her story, she had about 5 or 6 miscarriages, like had a lot going on in her life. And when 80 Day Obsession came out this year, she just decided to go all in, like absolutely all in, and let that fuel her business. And clearly it paid off. That's 1 month's income for all of those years. That might be all of them. But yeah, so I guess to answer your question, like, I don't think setting a goal like that is crazy at all, because it's going to push you versus saying, I want to double it. And even doubling it is an awesome goal, but 10xing it each month, like, it's going to make you 10x everything each month to get there. And I hope that inspired you guys, because it inspired me. Like, I always get nervous to share income because I don't ever want it to come off the wrong way. But when I looked at my income progression this year, I sent Travis how much I had made, which was double what I had made with Beachbody in 2017. It was more than double what I made with my full-time job in Beachbody in 2016. And it was double what Travis makes working at UPS. And like, that makes me feel like a girl boss. Knowing like that, and I don't say this in a negative way, but I had always said my goal was like, if Travis left tomorrow, that I didn't need him. Like, that I could pay all my goals, I could pay my I could pay my mortgage, I could pay all my bills, like, and not have to worry. And I do that. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, being the like breadwinner in the family makes me feel hella good. Like, and not like, he works his butt off, and I feel guilty sometimes at how hard he works, and he doesn't get paid bad, but like the possibility for everyone just makes like my heart, I just want it for everybody so bad, because I know the potential is there. Are there any goals that I maybe didn't talk about that you can't kind of grasp how to like reverse engineer or anything like that? And I didn't talk about a ton because I didn't want the call to be like 5 hours long. So I just tried to touch on stuff. But when you're thinking about like the tasks, when I say like break down the tasks that go into a goal, if it is business related, like all of those vitals that we talk about doing your PD and reaching out and posting and showing up to events and like all of those little things. Super Saturday's coming. You guys, people seeing you work out with trainers or just be with a fit fam does amazing things for your business. Like they want to be a part of that when they see those things. I cannot stress how important it is to be at events when you have a chance. Whitney, let me see what you said. Summit, like Summit does ridiculous things to your business. And even if you just leave Summit completely inspired and ready to freaking work, like Whitney left Summit and was diamond like that. Like she was like, I am going to be recognized on that stage next year. Like it fired her up. I have been fired up at every summit I've ever been to. Just Whitney, I just keep calling on you because you're just right there. Like everyone else is obviously there, but you just are like right there. Sorry. Yeah. I apologize. Maybe I shouldn't have done the income progression breakdown. I just wanted you guys to briefly see it. I can definitely do that with you guys slower and everything. I just didn't want to waste a ton of time on it for people who weren't interested in that. But it definitely takes, it's not hard. It just takes talking through, I feel like. Are you guys motivated? Like ready to crush your vision boards and like put things on there that you never thought you would have ever dreamed of? Like I get butterflies in my stomach when I print stuff off for my vision board. And that's how it should be. I don't ever want to put anything on there that I'm like, gonna check that off next week. Like, what's the point of that? I want stuff on there that makes me want to, hi Ryan, that makes me want to throw up because it like pushes me outside my comfort zone. And you guys, there are things on my vision board from last year that I didn't accomplish. I'm taking the Lexus off. I'm going to put it right back on, but it's coming, like that didn't come off during the year, and that's okay. It's something that I'm continuing to work towards. Okay. Well, I will let you guys go. Oh, I'm sorry, Angela. Well, Angela, I think that was the whole point, was that your goals can be anything. When I started, I was in grad school and working 4 jobs. Like my goals weren't to make, you know, a full-time income or anything like that. Like I think having goals of that you think are accomplishable, and they can be having better relationships. They can be finding work time, you know, building at least 30 minutes of Beachbody time into every day. Like they can be anything about where you're at. We're at all at such different spots. It's just like, they're just your goals. It's hard for me to tell you like what your goals should be, but anything that you're wanting is fine. Like, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of hard to, there is no right or wrong with any of these. Okay. Well, I will let you guys go then. Thank you guys all so much for being on here for the first call of the year. Let me know if you have any questions. I will post the recording. And like I said, if anyone wants to do that income breakdown, just message me or message your coach, and they can message me, or whatever you feel comfortable doing, and we can definitely break it down. Or any of your goals. If you're like, Kristen, I don't know what goes into hitting 2-star. Like, can we talk about that? Yes. Like, let's talk about it. Let's get that done so that you can start working for it. Okay. Bye, guys. Thank you.